Welcome to Inside Music Row. Today we're going to celebrate Carolina, the first #1 hit for Parmalee. We'll also check out the latest independent project from Jody Messina. And finally, we sit down with Austin Webb to hear all about his new music. All this and more coming up on Inside Music Row. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Sutton. So glad you've joined us for another Inside Music Row. We've got a great show for you today, so let's get started with some entertainment headlines. If you're waiting to get your tickets to this year's CMA Music Festival, well, you might have waited just a little too long. The nightly concerts at LP Field sold out early this year, setting a sales record for the CMA. Tickets sold out before the first artist was even announced, which was 9 weeks earlier than last year. Even though the nightly shows are now sold out, there are still plenty of other entertainment venues, stages, activities, and special events lined up for the festival, which runs June the 5th through June the 8th. Check out CMAfest.com for all those details. Well, Take It to the Bank is the latest project from Janson. He puts on at least 150 shows each year and has recently become a regular on the Grand Ole Opry. Chris has been described as a cross between Waylon Jennings and Mick Jagger. Look for the new EP on sale now, which features 5 hand-picked songs, 4 of which were written by Chris. The Grand Ole Opry is releasing a new book this weekend that treats fans to an all-access, behind-the-scenes look at country music's most famous show. Backstage at the Grand Ole Opry coincides with the 40th anniversary celebration of the Opry House. You'll find many rare photos, stories, and personal memories throughout that book, so look for it at many Nashville retailers or online at the Opry Shop. Dolly Parton is a very busy woman right now, fresh off the Australian leg of her new Blue Smoke tour. Dolly is set to release the album with the same name on May 13th. She'll then hit the road here in the States for a handful of shows before then heading to Europe for about 5 weeks. It doesn't look like she'll be slowing down anytime soon. And now it's time to go inside the song. Sarah Darling wrote a song 7 years ago that was inspired by her grandfather when she thought she was losing him. Here is Sarah talking about her song, Knowing What I Know About Heaven.
It was about 7 years ago. It was like right when I moved to Nashville. And my grandpa is kind of a miracle man in a sense. And, you know, his health was always kind of failing when I was growing up. And I was always afraid I wasn't going to get to know him, you know, as I grew up. And thank God I still have him in my life. But there was this point in time where he was kind of saying, I just don't know what's going to happen, and he was talking about how wonderful heaven was going to be like, and I was so moved by that I ended up writing a song called Knowing What I Know About Heaven, and it's about, picturing why on earth would you want to bring someone back when you know how amazing it's going to be.
If the cold weather is making you crazy, there are a lot of hot tours playing all over the world right now that could certainly warm you up. Let's take a quick look at who's going where and when. We're going to take a quick break, but before we go, we've got a few copies of the latest project from Jody Messina up for grabs. Get signed up for this week's drawing only at InsideMusicRow.com. And stay tuned, we've got more music up ahead, plus we're going to celebrate a very special #1 hit when we come back.